ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track, and ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
It's the Friday News Roundup. We're talking about the Philly cop who got shot during a brawl outside of Overbrook High School, plus the fallout over the antisemitic sign at Barstool. And more federal funding cuts are leaving more organizations and projects in the city in limbo. It's Friday, May 9th. I'm Trenae Nuri, and here's what Philly's talking about. Joining me this week at the Filler Club is CityCast Philly executive producer Matt Katz. Hey, Matt.
What's up, Trenae?
All right, let's start with some tough news from this past week. A Philly police officer was shot Wednesday afternoon after police responded to several fights that broke outside right after school over near Overbrook High School. The officer shot is new to the force. He's 26 years old, graduated from the academy last year. His status as of Thursday, he was still in critical condition at Presbyterian Hospital. This story is just so outrageous because it also involves an adult who got involved in a fight between kids, teenagers. Yeah. And not only just did the adult get involved in this fight, they brought a gun. So Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel and other city leaders, the mayor, they were all outside at a press conference talking about this 30-year-old suspect.
You're the damn adult. Like, you're supposed to know better. You're supposed to be the one who has to come in there to de-escalate, not escalate.
I mean, I completely agree with the commissioner.
Mm-hmm. What's a 30-year-old man doing at a high school during the day getting involved in whatever beef's going on with these kids?
And to Commissioner Bethel's point, you should have been de-escalating it instead of causing more chaos. There's video capturing the scene being shared on social media. In one of the videos I saw, people are scrapping and the police are trying to break it up. And then you hear the shots. So our thoughts are with the police officer, and hopefully we get a good ending to this story.
And the families of students who may have witnessed something or may have been injured in this fracas. I mean, it is unbelievable. This happened at 2:45 right after classes were dismissed.
We've got more news after the break. One of my favorite things about Philly is the beautiful artwork. Philly's art world goes beyond our colorful murals. Art Star is a curator representing working studio artists and crafters. They've got a retail shop in Old City and host art bazaars and markets throughout the year. Their next event is the Art Star Craft Bazaar on Mother's Day weekend at Cherry Street Pier. So on Saturday, May 10th and Sunday, May 11th from 11 to 5 p.m., check out more than 80 craft vendors selling handmade goods, gift ideas for mom, and make and takes by Project Joy Craft Nation in Philadelphia. Enjoy the Delaware River water views while you're eating food and sipping a drink for purchase. The first 75 people can get totes at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. How cool is that? And the CityCast Philly team will be there on Saturday. Come say hi and pick up some stickers. We can't wait to see you there. For more details on this event, go to artstarphilly.com. Filler Club is a private city club in the heart of Center City, designed as a third space for the modern city dweller, equal parts professional, social, and cultural hub. Located across from 30th Street Station, there's a boutique hotel with 14 thoughtfully designed rooms, perfect for members, friends, and family. And membership gets you access to dining, events, and a full fitness suite with an indoor pool, climbing wall, and spa services. Filler Club's work and innovation hub, ideal for entrepreneurs, remote workers, and teams of colleagues. And when you're thinking about work, there's everything from shared desks to private offices and boardrooms. Learn more about Filler Club becoming your third space, where work, community, and leisure intersect. Get more details at fillerclub.com/citycast membership. All right. All week, Philly has been talking about the anti-Semitic sign that was ordered and displayed on one of those light up bottle service signs at Barstool, Sansom Street over the weekend. A Temple student was placed on interim suspension because of this. A second student has been suspended this week. I think that happened on Wednesday. And the waitresses involved have been fired. A lot of things have kind of unraveled after videos showed that this sign was being displayed at the bar. Barstool CEO Dave Portnoy, who is Jewish, responded on social media. He was livid once he got word that this had happened. He saw it as what he called a teaching moment. He wanted to send the people involved, or at least one of the students involved, to a learning experience at a former concentration camp from the Holocaust in Poland. But then he revoked that invitation because he said that the student who was originally remorseful for the incident didn't seem as remorseful when they were communicating with one another. But the story goes even deeper. It takes another turn because Portnoy has an exchange with a reporter.
Yeah.
It's not really clear if it is a reporter from 6ABC.
Yeah, he posted this video. The whole incident, messy obviously from the start, but then got kind of messier. So after Portnoy said that Mohammed Khan, who's the student who was suspended, who allegedly did this, Portnoy said that Khan copped having done this. He admitted to it in a conversation with Portnoy. By the way, the sign said F the Jews, but used the full word. Then, though, Khan, a day or two later, goes on a white supremacist podcast to deny that he had anything to do with the sign and also to raise money. And that's when Portnoy calls Khan a liar, revokes the invitation, as you said, to Auschwitz. And in the middle of all of that, Portnoy posted a video in which he gets into the fight, as you said, with a 6ABC reporter who was apparently trying to do an interview with him. So that got a little strange. And meanwhile, Portnoy, who's known to much of the internet for his pizza reviews, he goes around and rates pizza shops, including many in Philadelphia, and also for his site, Barstool Sports. But he's something of a controversial figure in his own right. He's been accused of using racially insensitive language. He's been accused of inappropriate sexual encounters. He is definitely like a lightning rod online, to say the least. And that's not to say he doesn't have legitimacy here, calling out what appears to be absolutely blatant and uncalled for anti-Semitism. But it certainly makes the story a little messier. And I should add, to just remove Portnoy from this for a moment, the context for this sign going up at a bar in Philadelphia is that just a few weeks ago, the sitting Jewish governor of this state almost had his governor's mansion just burned down during Passover, during a Jewish holiday, in what may have been driven, at least in part, by anti-Semitism. And Pennsylvania is also home to the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in American history in 2018, when 11 people were killed at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. So it's not just about the sign. There's a through line here to what has clearly been a rising anti-Semitism locally and nationally. And I think that's certainly part of the reason why it struck a chord.
What was so striking is that really who signed off on that sign?
Yeah,
How
it's
did
not.
that
It's
even...
multiple people, right? Because the waitress is involved in putting. It's like one of these light boxes, and the waitress involved in putting the letters.
Happy birthday, congratulations,
right.
Even you're over the hill.
Yeah, exactly.
Something that's funny and light and more celebratory. And this sign was anything but that.
Yeah.
And that's what struck a lot of us. How y'all thought this was cool?
Wild.
All right, we'll be back after this break. Mother's Day is coming up, so to celebrate and honor her, gift her with something special, like an Aura digital picture frame. My mom lives in a different time zone, so when she comes to visit us in Philly, we take lots of pictures. I love the one where we're all squeezed on a couch watching Sunday Night Football. Aura Frames was named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter, and it was featured in 495 gift guides last year. So the next time you need to call your mom, you can also send her a picture of your son at his lacrosse game right from your phone. Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver mat frame. That's auraframes.com. Promo code CityCast. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. 3 couples, 4 vacations, a lot to unpack. Watch The 4 Seasons, a new series starring comedy favorites Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, and more in a hilarious and heartfelt love letter to long-term relationships. Based on the original Alan Alda film. Watch The 4 Seasons, streaming now only on Netflix.
We're seeing more unraveling and more impact of these federal funding cuts and what they are doing to organizations and projects here in the city. And over in Chinatown, neighbors and organizations have been working really hard for years to keep the neighborhood together since it's been physically divided by the Vine Street Expressway. So in order to do this, the neighborhood has been kind of planning this massive infrastructure project known as the Chinatown Stitch Project, which essentially would create a cap over the expressway between 8th and Broad Streets, kind of reconnecting the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. The problem is, like I said, the risk of losing federal funding could delay this whole process over years to come.
Yeah, reconnecting the neighborhood because the expressway, when it was constructed, broke up Chinatown. And this has been a long-standing effort to try to repair that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of scary sometimes walking across Vine Street Expressway to get to the other side because you're like, oh my God, these cars are coming from all over the place.
Totally.
But this is the response from City Council. City Council member Mark Squilla, he represents this neighborhood. He told Axios Philadelphia that there's no contingency plan right now if the federal government strips the funding. And so city leaders are trying to figure out, what they can do. Last year, the city announced that it was going to receive a $159 million federal grant for this project to create that cap or in a green space. But right now, they're still in that public input phase. So if you want to learn more about this project, you want to get involved, go to one of the pop-up events hosted by the city's Office of Transportation, Infrastructure, and Sustainability, or OTIS. There's one happening today, May 9th at 1:30 to 4 p.m. over at the On Lock House on 10th Street. And then there's one scheduled for May 15th at 5:30 to 7:30 at 10th Street Plaza.
The federal cuts that are hitting the city in so many different realms, it's pretty remarkable how federal money, a little bit of federal money here and there, is really woven into the fabric of the city. We did this a few weeks ago when a bunch of other cuts came out. I read a list of some of these cuts that have been reported. Can I just read some more of this for you, Trenae? So AmeriCorps programs in Philly, that's the sort of the
City Year, Teach for America.
Right.
They've got one called Joyful Readers.
Right. So they lost more than $10 million. These are basically community service programs dealing with literacy, college readiness, career prep. City Year funds student success coaches, and they work at 13 schools, working with kids on math and English. Power Corps lost $860,000. They provide training to young people on public works projects like planting trees, fixing rec centers. joyful readers, like you mentioned. They brought reading tutors into the school. So that's a big chunk of money that's lost. The city also lost $5.7 million. That's for contraception, testing and treatment for sexually transmitted infections, vaccinations. The state lost $600,000 for the Pennsylvania Innocence Project.
Oh, wow.
This is money that's used to exonerate the wrongfully convicted.
Yeah.
And then on the criminal justice front, also Cure Violence Kensington lost hundreds of thousands of dollars for, and what they do is they bring violence interrupters into neighborhoods to prevent shootings before they happen. And they had this grant under the Biden administration, and now that's gone. The executive director of Ceasefire PA said, we will be less safe because of this action by the Trump administration. And then there's a bunch of money for the arts because the National Endowment for the Arts will only, quote, focus on funding projects that reflect the nation's rich artistic heritage and creativity as prioritized by the president. So if you're not making art that is somehow fitting in the MAGA mold, it's out. And this hit all kinds of little things in the city. $15,000 for the Garden of Earthly Delights, which was being put on by the Circadium School of Contemporary Circus. It was supposed to debut at Fringe Arts at the end of the month. $50,000 to the Philadelphia Theater Company to support the production of Nightside Songs, a musical about cancer treatments. This is a performance that already happened, and they were spending the money that hadn't already come because it was guaranteed. These performances were for free at hospitals and rec centers. $25,000 for the Wilma Theater for a show called The Half God of Rainfall. Glitter in the Glass, which was at Theater Exile in South Philly. They were supposed to start rehearsals this week. They lost a $25,000 grant. And then the last one, $20,000 for World Cafe Live for what's called Bridge Sessions. It's a music education program. I mean, just all kinds of little stuff throughout the city. It's almost like when all is said and done with these cuts, nobody in Philadelphia will be unaffected by this.
So, there could be legal challenges to all of these cuts. Organizations are going to have to look into private and public donors to kind of fill these gaps.
Yeah.
What else happened this week?
I just wanted to highlight two great interviews you did with the two candidates running for district attorney in the Democratic primary. Election is May 20th. There's no Republicans running, so this is really the Democratic primary is going to decide who our chief prosecutor is going forward. So we had interviews with Larry Krasner, the incumbent DA, that aired a week ago Wednesday, and then we had an interview this past week with Pat Dugan, the former judge who is challenging Krasner by saying that Philadelphians don't feel safe. Krasner hung his hat in your interview with him, Trenae, on Philadelphia having what appears to be right now the lowest murder rate in 50 years. So really great interviews. Got to the root of some of the issues that are really going to decide this race. Dugan, for his part, acknowledged some of the crime stats that are looking better, but he highlighted how retail theft incidents did go up last year in the city after having declined since the pandemic. And the vast majority of these incidents don't result in arrests or charges. That's one thing that Dugan talked about. I did want to clarify something that Dugan said, and we learned some more information about it after the interview. Dugan claimed to have more endorsements from Democratic ward leaders than Krasner. The Inquirer, though, reported after our interview that some ward leaders say the wards that Dugan listed on his website as supporting him are not actually supporting him. They're not actually endorsing anyone. So Dugan has since removed some of those wards that were listed on his site. And the latest numbers, according to Dugan's website, is he has the endorsement from 27 wards, which is less than what he told you, Trenae. And Krasner has the endorsement from 23 wards. Now, this is a big deal, right?
Because it's kind of split.
It's kind of split. It's close. But also these ward endorsements are important because this is going to be a very low turnout election. DA elections are usually very low, lower than a quarter of registered voters come out. So the people whose names show up on the ward flyers that you get handed when you walk into the polling station, or the piece of paper that, go through the mailbox in the days before the election, If it says we endorse Krasner, we endorse Dugan, that can really, influence an election, that can influence people's votes, that can influence what happens in these particular wards. So certainly something to keep an eye on. Plenty of wards are staying out of this race, but we'll see who is going to be able to drum up the voting and get people motivated to come to the polls, and that'll probably determine the winner.
And it's not just the DA that we will be voting for. We're also going to be voting for judges, and we're going to be talking about that next Wednesday on our politics episode.
Yep.
All right. Weekend plans.
Are you going to go to the Xfinity Mobile Arena this weekend, Trenae?
I won't be. I'll be somewhere else.
That's a freaking mouthful, huh?
You know what people are going to call it? The
What?
X.
So, to catch you up, we are changing the name of the Wells Fargo Center where the Sixers play, where the Flyers play, where you go see your big concerts. They're changing the name beginning in September to Xfinity Mobile Arena. So they're going to say, I'm going to the X?
Yeah. Let's go down to the X.
Okay. That's not bad.
It's not bad. Because you now say, let's go down to the mobile.
Well, somebody on the internet said we should call it the cell because it's like cellular.
That's corny.
And it's also like a diss on the building, I guess.
We're going down to the X.
We're going to the X. All
Down
right.
to the X.
Well, you're not doing that this weekend.
No, I'm not.
All right. Are you going to watch some golf this weekend, Trenae?
No. I've never golfed.
Well, I mean, this is a big deal for Philly. We got a big golf thing going on. The Truist Championship is at the Philadelphia Cricket Club in Flourtown, just outside the city this week.
Cool.
There's a $20 million prize pool. Some of the biggest golfers in the world.
Maybe I should learn how to golf.
Some of the biggest golfers in the world are going. And did you know that the Philadelphia Cricket Club, where they're playing this tournament, is the oldest country club in the country?
I did not know that.
Have you ever been there?
I think I drove past.
I went there. I had to put on a jacket.
Oh.
Like a suit jacket because it's fancy.
Yeah.
It's very cool in there. It does look like it's from another time.
Do you know how to golf?
I can't golf, no.
Okay.
I golfed once at the municipal golf course. I didn't do well.
I'm a field hockey player, so I wonder if it could translate.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's like, seems like the same thing.
We have a move called a drive.
Okay.
Which you basically whack the ball
to
the other side of the field.
You should get out there this weekend.
All right.
There's $20 million on the line, Trenae.
Hit the green.
It's the greens, they say.
Oh, the greens. Oh. Okay.
I think.
Oh, man. Well, I'm not going to be golfing. I'm going to be looking at some cool art at the Art Star Craft Bazaar on Mother's Day weekend at Cherry Street Pier. So this is a 2-day event on Saturday, May 10th and Sunday, May 11th from 11 to 5. But it's not just me. It's the whole CityCast Philly team. We're all going to be there on Saturday. So come say hi to us. Get some swag. You might be featured in a future podcast episode. So make sure you're down there.
Yeah, come talk on the mic. Say hi to us. We'll have a little banner, a little table.
So there's going to be like 80 craft vendors selling handmade goods. It's Mother's Day weekend. So come down, talk to us, get some food, drinks for purchase. It's going to be a really good time.
It's Saturday and Sunday. We'll be there on Saturday. Sunday is Mother's Day. And Trenae, happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope you have a relaxing and enjoyable day with the kids.
Yeah, you got me working on a Saturday.
Well, Sunday you're off.
All right, that's all for us today here on CityCast Philly. Our executive producer is Matt Katz. Our producers are Abby Fritz, Selena Saya Reynolds, and Natalie Rivera. Our Hey Philly newsletter editor is Siani Colon. And our host is me, Trenae Nuri. Music is by Philly's own Interminable, with additional music from All the Kimonos. If you enjoyed all the episodes this week, share this in the group chat, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter, Hey Philly. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Have a great weekend and be safe, y'all. Bye.